Hi there, welcome back to Save with Crypto. My name is Save with Crypto, and what I'm looking at here is the affiliate dashboard for Bitunix. And I'm absolutely stunned with you lot because quite a few people have signed up to Bitunix, but you've not deposited and you've not traded. What's the matter with you? Look at some trades I've got going at the moment. Actually, to be fair, I'm not in a trade right now on Bitunix, but if you look at my order history here, you can see what I've been doing. So, you know, a little small one there, made $17 profit, $55 profit, $74 profit, $36 profit. You know, profit. I haven't lost a trade for a long time. But yeah, so I'm making money there. I'm not even playing with much on Bitunix. On some of my bigger accounts, such as Bybit, I've currently got a trade here with Ethereum, which is 97% in profit. That's $1,800. I've got a Bitcoin one here that's 21% in profit. That's $339. Let's have a look at BitGet. So here on BitGet, I've got a Bitcoin long position, which is 102% in profit, which is $210. Only a small position there. I've got a bigger one here where I'm using Bitcoin as the collateral. That other one I'm using BGB as the collateral. This one here is 22% in profit, which is $365. Let's have a quick look on another one, which is probably Blofin, which is my worst one so far. I'm slightly underwater, 3.72% underwater with a Solana trade. I'm using Solana as a capital there, and I'm currently 1.2 Solana down, but that's a big position. That's a 36 Solana margin there, so you know, it's quite a large position. And even on Forex leverage, that's a $25,000 trade, so you know, it's quite a big one. I'm quite hopeful that will get up here and I can just come out of that trade in profit and then maybe look for a lower price with Solana later. But in actual fact, this Blofin account here, this one I started off with about $2,000 in when Dave from the Stonky Show went on holiday, and I was fitting in for him. So I think that was around July the 9th, I think it was. So that was $2,000 then. It's now $7,300. So I think that's pretty good. I've tripled the account and more in about a month. So you can do it. Now, how am I doing this? Well, I think you know how, don't you? And of course, that is this magical indicator we've got here, which is called Quadzilla version 1.1. There it is. This is just phenomenal. You know, even on, like, say, the 4-hour time frame here, this called a bottom round here when the price of Bitcoin was down at like 108,000. You know, we're now at 117, and it even called this local bottom here down at 115, and we're now well over $2,000 up from there, which is why all my trades are nicely in profit. So this is a free indicator. All you have to do to get it is go to savewithcrypto.org/QZ, and you need to sign up to one of the exchanges that we're affiliated with. Bitunix is absolute doddle because you can use it in pretty much any country. The only country I think has a problem is Singapore. If you're in Singapore, use Phemex. There's a link for that as well in the description down below. Now you need to use one of our links. You need to trade. You need to trade at least once, and you need to make a deposit, and then you'll be qualified to use the indicator for life. Okay, and that's all we're asking. You know, there's a lot of work gone into this, and I really appreciate it if you did actually use one of the exchanges and you know, do actually trade. The alternative is we could charge for it, but I don't really want to do that because I want to offer it for free. So be really appreciated if you could actually, you know, do some trading, use the indicator, and you know, do what I've done. You know, get like 5 or 6 trades all in profit. You know, use all 4 exchanges, or 5 if you can, and you know, just make a load of money. What's the harm in that? Nothing to not like, is there? Anywho, if you're in the free Telegram group that we got, if you're not, by the way, go to savewithcrypto.org/TG and get into the Telegram group. We've been talking about going long for quite a while now, and indeed, you know, this is definitely the thing to do. Even more so from this morning at about 1 o'clock in the morning. Actually, it's Friday morning, I think. We got this bullish cross here between the 21 EMA and the 55 EMA. I also like to add a few extra EMAs. You can do that in Quadzilla as well. If you go to the settings and go to style and just add these two here, the 5 EMA and the 9 EMA. And what that means is that when you look at the chart, you've got these extra like red and cyan ones. Now what you ideally want to see is pretty much what we've got now on the 4-hour time frame, which is absolutely brilliant. So you've got the red 5 EMA there, the cyan 9 EMA there, 21 EMA there, and the 55 EMA there. So when you've got red, cyan, yellow, green, that means you're in an uptrend. And if you see something like that on the 4-hour time frame, that is very bullish indeed. And also you can see here we've got this green shading here as these EMAs were converging. So you had a pretty good clue back at 114,000 that we were going to go much higher. So that's where we are, with $3,000 higher. If you're not making money now, you are doing something wrong, and I suspect you probably haven't got the Quadzilla indicator, so get it now while it's free, otherwise we're going to charge for it. Okay, so sorry to sound a bit harsh, but I think you should get it. Okay, now of course, besides Bitcoin, the star of the show today is Ethereum. Of course, Ethereum has gone over $4,000, which is amazing. Have we got an all-time high yet? I think it's not far off, isn't it? Just hang on a sec. Okay, well the all-time high was actually in the autumn of 2021, which is more like $4,800, so not far off there actually. Now if we break that all-time high and form a new one, and then maybe come back and retest that, that's going to be very bullish indeed. However, let's just look at this again on the 4-hour time frame. Pop on Quadzilla, okay, and what you will see here, right, is this green line here. This is a retracement line, so it's quite likely at some point the price will pull back to there. So I'd probably suggest, not financial advice of course, if you've missed this long coming up here, I would set some orders around about 3,700 and yeah, you know, plan to go long there, or maybe even short down from a new all-time high, something like that. But what you need to be looking out for on Quadzilla is pretty much what we've got now. We've got this convergence band well above the 80% line, and you're starting to see these red backgrounds every now and again. That is a sign that we are getting into very overbought territory. If we look at that on a higher time frame, say something like the 12-hour, let me just do that. Okay, so 12-hour, yeah, this is starting to look very overbought. If we start seeing like red backgrounds here on the 12-hour, you'll know pretty much we're getting near a top. So get the indicator, look out for the red background. You can set an alert if you want. You can just go here and set an alert, selecting Quadzilla and then selecting red background there. Okay, and then you've got an alert set for when that condition happens. You see what I mean? Makes trading really, really easy. Okay, so the other thing to bear in mind is the weekend now. So that meant that the CME, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, closed at 117.425 last night. Usually the CME runs at about a $500 premium, so I would expect to see 117 flat on normal exchanges sometime very late Sunday night, early Monday morning, even just the start of the week, to close that CME gap, which is just a weird phenomenon that just seems to happen. So I think for the moment, you know, we might see a bit of sideways movement for the weekend, hit 117 sometime on Sunday, and then probably come back down for a bit of a cool off after that, which would coincide with Ethereum having a bit of a chill as well, coming back down to you know, possibly to back down to 4,000 again. Would make sense, wouldn't it? But it is looking a bit overcooked at the moment. But yeah, so do consider taking profit if you're well in profit. I think I will, and then I'll add it back in when we get a pullback. So that's what I'm doing. Any questions, leave them in the comments down below. While you're down there, please do give the video a great big fat like. Also make sure that you are subscribed and you've got the notification bell put on to all to get notified of my timely updates. And above all, tell your friends.
Save with Crypto has to be one of the best YouTube channels that the United States has ever seen. Kamala Harris is not a subscriber, but I am. I have notifications set to all as well. I'd strongly suggest you subscribe to Save with Crypto today. Above all, you should tell your friends.
Save with Crypto is not a financial advisor. He just makes ice cream on the internet. If you cannot find someone to do your own research, you must do it yourself, just like I did not.